Hey, what's up guys, I'm EDC Gunner and today we're gonna talk about the watch categorization. Hey, what's up guys, I'm EDC Gunner and today we're gonna talk about the watch categorization. So we're gonna talk about the top 10 best watches in the world, but not the best watches, but in each category. So I'm gonna start with very affordable to the all the way to the top tier, and when I reach the top tier there are watches above that, but there's always something above that, but they will be below that. So the first watch I'm gonna absolutely have to start, everyone must, to consider the best entry level watch is Seiko. So you have the Seiko, you want to get something for 200 bucks, 300 bucks, good watch. If you want to get something Swiss made, I like Tissot. Tissot is a Swiss made brand, great quality, and I definitely recommend. I wouldn't even mention it without that. Also, there are lots of other brands that deserve respect, like Certina and many other. I want you to put me in the comment section some of the brands I haven't mentioned in each category. And after that, there's a Longines and maybe Oris. So that's over 1,000 bucks. You get a nice, good, decent watch for the money. So first level, Seiko, Tissot, Oris, Longines. So that's it. After first level, we have a second tier, and that's like brand like Tag Heuer. You have some great watches from Tag Heuer. My most recommended are the Tag Heuer Monaco chronograph, Carrera, or maybe some Aqua Racer. And don't forget all the Formula Ones that got so many people in the hobby. It's a good quality Swiss brand with lots of history and heritage. They may not be the most popular, but I'm definitely including them in this list, and they stay in the place. Maybe next to them, I can mention Nomos, I can mention Zin, and lots of other brands. And do tell me what have I skipped in the comment section. After that, on number 3 spot, we have brands like Tudor, also Panerai, and many other brands, but Tudor, Panerai, this is your number 3 spot in the world hierarchy on watches. After Tudor, on number 4 spot, we have Omega, and there's pretty much, it's a strong competition here, but Omega slightly better than Tudor and Panerai. Alongside with Omega, I need to mention Breitling, IWC, Zenith, Grand Seiko, and lots of other brands. But the on the top tier, on the pot holder, because I like Omega, is Omega. And do write me, what do you think? So coming up at number 5, we have Rolex. Not gonna say anything. It's just there. I'm just gonna leave it there. After Rolex, number 6, there's some brands like GLC, Jaeger Culture, which is a great brand to consider to have, or Breguet. That's another. It's the same one, and I probably skipped so many brands, but I'm just gonna leave it there. At number 7, look at me all dressy and spiffy because we are into the high-end territory of Holy Trinity watches, which are disturbed and broken because we have an imposter. And at number 7, there used to be a different brand, but now it's AP, it's Audemars Piguet. But I'm placing it at the number 7 for the reasons I'm not going to discuss in this video. That's a topic for a whole different video. And if you give me 100 likes, I will talk to you about that. Yeah, fishing for likes. At number 8, is it 8? At number 8, we have Vacheron and Constantine. And I'm placing Vacheron and Constantine over AP because I always did. I just kind of like the brand more. I do like the Royal Oaks from AP and pretty much nothing else. And Vacheron has so many different kinds of watches that I like more. And we're talking, we're splitting hairs here, but this is just my personal preference. I'm not gonna apologize for it. And number 9, we have Lange. a Langenzona. And the Langenzona is an up and comer. It's a brand that's making magnificent things. They're making some magnificent watches, and you cannot just point it out just one watch, like an AP. Yeah, they have Royal Oak, I love it. Langenzone makes so many good watches in every category, from the Saxonia to the illustrious Datograph to the even more crazy stuff. I just love it. I just love their watches, and everyone else does, and they are recognized and they are making magnificent things for horology. At number 10, at no surprise, the king of watches is Patek Philippe. If you don't know why, well, also I like to mention their watches uh, outside of this realm, like watches like Richard Mille. I will get questions. Where's Richard Mille? Well, I don't like it. I don't like the brand. I think Piaget made more innovation with the Ultra Thin the Chronograph, Ultra Thin watch than any Richard Mille did. Jacob and Co. Uh, they're just not here. They're not strong enough. One brand I probably should have put on this list is FP Journe. It's one of the few independents that is going strong, and it will make the list one day. Probably at the expense of the lesser brand, but they are definitely one of the brands I should have mentioned. And there are lots of other videos I made on this topic, watch categorizations. I will put you a playlist of this one, but this today I just want to talk to you about this because some of you have been complaining to me that I just play some brands and I don't talk about it. So here you go, I talked about it.